Hey, welcome to Around the Maritimes. Thanks for tuning in. It is a chance to speak with a QMJHL champion this week. Dylan MacKinnon, the newest member of the Charlottetown Islanders, former Halifax Moosehead, won the title with the Wildcats last year and just recently traded over to Jim Holton and the Charlottetown Islanders, who are looking very good in the early part of the season. Plus, Dave Curnow and I break down all the happenings of the teams around the Maritime Division. This is Around the Maritimes, the official English podcast of the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League. Dave, back at it here on the Around the Maritimes podcast. Thanks for hopping in again. Jamie Tozer is out west. We're looking at a rotation between the three is, but you're stepping in here again. I'm feeling so nice to bring you back. I just talked 2 hockey games with you over the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
And we move forward. Hey, we'll get right into it. Just give me your thoughts on the Eagles that we saw in the last 2 weeks.
Trying to think back here. So the first game that we saw them do was Chicoutimi, and I feel like that game was probably a true representation of the Cape Breton Eagles that we're going to get most, if not all, this season. I thought they competed hard. They outshot Chicoutimi. Chicoutimi, as we all know, and we've talked about on this podcast, we talked about on Eastlink, they are built for a run. They are a very strong hockey team. I felt like Cape Breton held their own against Chicoutimi a couple Fridays ago. Like they come out. Unfortunately, they dropped the 2 points, but again, I thought the effort and compete was there. Flipped the script to this past Friday, and I felt we saw a different team when they played and took the ice against the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies. I felt like they laid an egg, and then they go out and redeem themselves on the Saturday night with a shootout win. But that team that we saw this past Friday, compete level was there. But you and I talked about it on the broadcast. Jason Clark talked about it in his interview with us and with Patty McNeil after the game. His team's a perimeter team. They got to start getting inside and getting into those dirty spots.
Yeah, and it is trying to find the goal scoring for the Eagles. But they did pick up their first win on home ice at Center 200. A team that has been winning a lot has been the Charlottetown Islanders, but your Newfoundland, I shouldn't say yours. The Newfoundland Regiment there, Dave, that almost jumped out there. What a comeback win for Newfoundland. But Charlottetown, right now, they're rolling in this division.
They are rolling indeed, and I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised at just how successful they are being right now, and I know I'm probably going to catch some steam for that. Hey, I'll digress and say yes, I knew that this was going to be a good competitive Charlottetown team, but I didn't know they would be this good. And shame on me, because you should never underestimate a Jim Holton led team. But Donald Hickey has been tremendous between the pipes for the Islanders. Nathan Leake, like, the Ontario pipeline strikes again for Jim Holton. This kid, you can see why the LA Kings invited him to training camp to have a look at him. Will Shields has found his scoring touch, which is a great thing. I still feel like Jude Heron and Tyler Peddle have another gear to give the Charlottetown Islanders. So that's 2 weapons that they can get going. Marcus Kiersey looks awesome. And then Ross Campbell, of course, and then they go out and they pick up Dylan MacKinnon.
Yeah, and I had a chance to speak with Dylan. That's coming up here on the podcast, and he's all smiles about joining this Jim Holton team. And the biggest compliment you could give a team, I asked, who are you excited to join the most? He said, every one of them, because I absolutely hated playing against a Jim Holton-led Charlottetown Islanders team, because even in their rebuilding phase, they were extremely, extremely difficult to play against. But they went on the road. They had a massive road trip into Quebec. Now, the one drop off was a game against Plainville, if I'm not mistaken, and it seems like everyone's having fits against Plainville. But out of that, Marcus Kiersey, you talked about him. He earned Player of the Week honors last week with 4 goals and 4 assists in week number 3. But yeah, Dylan MacKinnon is a great fit for this Jim Holton team, and they're pushing chips in. We had him an interview where he said he wants to have home ice advantage in the playoffs. Well, right now they're really rolling along here in this division.
Well, right now they appear to be at this stage, and I know, hey, it's very early. We're not even 10 games into the season, but they appear to be the class of the Eastern Conference as it stands right now. Hey, and that's I'm not taking anything away from Chicoutimi Saguenay. We've seen them. They made their Maritime tour here last week. Again, they're a good team. I still think Chicoutimi has another gear to give. But again, a team like the Cape Breton Eagles, they stood their ground with Chicoutimi and went toe to toe with them. But Charlottetown has just found another level right now, and they are playing some outstanding hockey. They're getting contributions up and down the lineup, and like we just talked about, right, Dylan MacKinnon really solidifies a solid back end for Charlottetown that's got Brady Peddle, Marcus Kiersey, Owen Conrad, throw Dylan MacKinnon in that mix. I mean, they're second. So they're second in the league for goals for, only behind, you guessed it, Blainville, whom they met Blainville. They saw what Blainville's about. But Charlottetown also has allowed the third most goals in the league. So maybe a guy like a Dylan MacKinnon, a shutdown defenseman, can help that stat.
Well, and now we are moving towards the next 2 weeks on Eastlink. We've got Halifax versus Newfoundland on Friday, and then the following week it's our first look at Moncton, the defending league champions, against the Charlottetown Islanders, who we just talked about, and that we'll be able to then say that we've had every team in the Atlantic Division. We've had a chance to see everyone. Halifax able to sneak a win over Moncton, and Moncton again still trying to find their way. I know they have some imports coming in, and plus Cale Denoy being injured, a big hole in that lineup.
Absolutely, you're right. Like this Moncton team is a shadow of itself from last season. And hey, don't get me wrong, that's going to be a hard team to replicate. That was an absolute wagon of a team they had last year. But you're absolutely right. Like Caleb Desnoyers, how much are they missing that guy? His leadership, his offensive ability, his goal scoring. Because right now they're lacking on depth scoring. I feel like. And again, I still feel like it will all come together. It will, because Gardner McDougall knows how to push those buttons and crank his teams up. But they sit 11th in the league for goals for. This is a team that just absolutely filled the net last year. So you're right. But the main thing that Moncton can really kind of hold their head high on is they're winning those tight games. So they're getting the points that they need right now while they wait for the cavalry to show up and start to get some reinforcements back in their lineup.
Yeah, and Moncton did take the latest game between Halifax beating the Wildcats in overtime a couple games back, but the Wildcats picking up the win there. The St. John Sea Dogs as well, though, they've been a sneaky good. They're sending 6 kids to that top prospects game as well. So that is a huge tip of the hat to Travis Cricket and the entire scouting staff of that organization. I look, Zach Morin, Olivier Mornix, Dylan Rossi, Williard, Cam Chartrand, and Raphael Kershan's going from the Sea Dogs. They're just scratching the surface. I know I said that last year, but man, yep, they are going to be an extremely tough team as they move down the stretch.
Oh, when I was kind of looking down each team in kind of preparation for doing this with you here tonight, and when I got to the St. John Sea Dogs, the note that I made was, this team is dangerous. Simply put, dangerous. That is the best adjective I can have to describe this team right now. And the list of players that you just rhymed off, they have depth scoring, they have goaltending, they have great coaching. They've got a young core that is willing to put the work in each and every single night. They can fill the net on you. It's unbelievable.
And I listed off all those prospects. I forgot to mention not going to the top prospects game because he's a year out from that. Is Alexi Joseph, who is already on the radar for draft.
Yeah,
Alexi Joseph could play in this top prospect game 2 years in a row, and he is getting better with absolutely every shift.
100%, right? And again, he is just slow start, but he's certainly found his groove now, and we are getting the Alexi Joseph we thought that we were getting the night that we heard his name called first overall in the Q draft. And yeah, this Sea Dogs team has been uber impressive to me. Again, so young yet so talented, and just the way that they're able to fill the net. It's, man, they're scary good.
They are, and again, it's this Eastern Division is as advertised right now, especially with Chicoutimi on the other side of things, and Blainville, Rouen, out in the West look tough as well. Sherbrooke's winning. It's gonna battle through, but that again, I say it as the Montreal Canadiens have 20,000 in the Bell Center tonight, and Laval Rocket are going to be good as well. Down the road, they have the best team in Canada right now in junior hockey, and that's going to be one of the most underreported stories in the Montreal market because the Canadians are going to be pretty good this year.
Well, exactly, right. But yeah, that Blainville team is something else, and you and I had a quick chat before going to air there on Friday, and just they certainly flexed their muscle against the Newfoundland Regiment last weekend, and maybe got a little bit of a controversial call going their way. But yes, the Blainville Armada are for real, and the West will certainly go through Blainville. However, chink in the armor last night, they lose in overtime, I believe it was, or maybe a shootout. I believe it was overtime to Sherbrooke. So, hey, this team can lose. They are beatable. It takes a little extra time, but they're beatable.
Dave, we go from the West to the East. You were involved with the Atlantic Challenge Cup for a couple of years. It's now the Q Cup. Nova Scotia able to capture it with the 4-0 record this week, and some big names. Ewan Sim is the name that jumps out for me. Of course, he's the youngest of the Sim trio, and a lot of Nova Scotia prospects on that team that are really turning some heads. But what were you hearing about from the Q Cup this week?
So you're right. Ewan Sim was a name that certainly popped off the page. He's got some hockey pedigree in his family, right? His two older brothers have certainly been making a name for themselves in the hockey circuits. Their old man is a Stanley Cup champion. So, and Ewan is off to a fantastic start for the Pictou County Weeks, leading rookie scorer in the league, I believe, right now. And Carter Odell had himself, he's a great prospect out of the Halifax McDonald's program. He's a name to watch. Hey, I know you're using me for my Newfoundland connections. I've seen some scouting reports out there. Luke McGuire from Team Newfoundland plays out in Calgary Prep School League. He really impressed quite a few people this past weekend, and he's certainly going to be a name to look out for. He's very shifty. He's got a fantastic shot. Sees the ice really well. But yeah, those top three guys really kind of stood out amongst the pack of a very talented Q Cup.
Dave, I'll go right back to your Newfoundland connections because you're beaming with pride right now because when we look at for the U14 and U15 sections of what is it's the Atlantic Challenge Cup at that point. Q Cup is the division for the prospects, but the U14 and U15 were both won by Team Newfoundland Labrador. And how rare is that in this tournament?
Well, like you said, right? I was fortunate enough to play in this tournament. I won't give you the date. I won't date myself. And then from there, I've followed the tournament when I worked for Hockey Canada. our office organized the tournament, so we were heavily involved at that stage. And I can tell you two things: Newfoundland and Labrador take extreme pride, and they put forth their best efforts whenever they send a team to this event. And the other thing is, in all my time of following this event, it has been rare to see a Newfoundland team be successful. So to see two of those teams bring it home, that is such a huge shot in the arm for Hockey Newfoundland. Those kids certainly believe in their talents and their abilities, and rightfully so. Um, our buddy Greg McDonald coached the U14 Nova Scotia team, and he himself said those kids they play the game the right way. They are uber deserving of the championship title. But this is definitely a source of pride, and this is a huge shot in the arm for Hockey Newfoundland. They've always believed they've had the ability to do this, and now to be recognized on the Atlantic stage. Yeah, this is going to be awesome.
How much of a draw would the regiment being in St. John's be for keeping those kids playing hockey in Newfoundland up through the ranks, or is there a lot of those kids that are already making their way across Canada and getting some prep school opportunities?
I think you're not not. I think you're onto something there. I think with the addition of the regiment to the community, and if the Q is the route that some of these kids prefer to go, I certainly do believe it is a draw for kids to stay home. Um, that U18 league in Newfoundland, again, that also it gets more competitive each and every year. But you're right, with the regiment there now, there's more scouts coming to town. There's more eyeballs on these kids, because there was that gap when the Growlers left town to now the regiment are there. There wasn't many scouts going to the games. A kid like Ben Vitch, a kid like Quinn Norman, like you just alluded to, right? They kind of felt like their best opportunity to move on, and get seen was to play on the mainland. And obviously, it worked for them, but it's going to be interesting to see. I think there is validity there to what you're saying, that with the regiment in town, it will be more of a draw for some kids to stay local.
Well, we keep it local always on Eastlink Community TV, and as we say, we've got Halifax versus Newfoundland this week, and when you're watching this in a week later on the Eastlink Community TV, because this is a lead-in for us on our Friday Night Hockey. We've got our first look at the Moncton Wildcats and the Charlottetown Islanders. So two big games, Dave. And I know we'll be keeping an eye on everything moving forward in the queue, and especially around the Maritimes. Curlew, thanks again, my friend. And we'll see you back in between the benches at 7-200 soon enough.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about Eastlink and the perfect pair. It is unlimited mobile and a gig internet. And it is the best way to set yourself up to be connected, ever connected in this ever-changing world. You want to call 1-888-345-1111 and get yourself connected with Eastlink. Check out eastlink.ca or head into the store for more details. That is, there we go. See that? You got to make sure the glare doesn't take away from the logo. For those of you that listen to this, the glare was taken away from the logo. It's Eastlink, getting you connected. Joining us here on Around the Maritimes, Dylan MacKinnon, now member of the Charlottetown Islanders, QMJHL champion, a Wildcat, a Moosehead, a Moncton Flyer, Holinka Gretzky. It's a heck of a resume. But let's start off with the lead. Traded the Charlottetown Islanders 3 games in. What's it like being a member of Charlottetown?
Oh, it's unreal. I mean, this whole team's a bunch of Maritime boys, so I kind of grew up playing against a lot of them. I definitely had some relationships to apologize for, bring back to life a little bit. But it's no, it's been nothing but fun here, and I'm pumped to be here.
Who was the first guy in the locker room to come over and shake your hand and be excited to see you as a member of the Islanders?
Yeah, I think other than Jim, it would have been, I'd say Max Jarrett, or well, Tyler Peddle actually.
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
that
he's one
relate?
of my best buddies. Yeah, so.
Oh, what's that relationship like?
Oh, it's just a lot of shenanigans, I'd say. He's a good guy. I grew up playing against him forever. We did all those away tournaments in the spring. Sorry. So yeah, but other than him, I mean Max Jardine. So another
Well,
NB boy.
you know what? It is, as you say, a lot of Maritimers, but also some fresh faces. What are you looking to bring to that lineup, Dylan?
Yeah, Jim likes the gritty guys, I think, or I've heard. So I played against him and his teams for 4 years now. They've always been a gritty, just kind of a pain in the butt to play. So just kind of bring that, really take in that role and just bring what I can to the table. I'm not going to be a 50 goal scorer or anything. So just bring that game to the plate every day and shut some offense down.
Well, we've been seeing it for since 21 at the Q level, but also the Moncton Flyers. The Q Cup has just happened, which you were part of that Atlantic Challenge Cup with Team New Brunswick as a minor hockey player. What are some of your memories from that weekend, and how did that kind of help propel you as kind of your first steps towards this process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was definitely different because all those guys, you're playing against, like you never really do that at that point in your career. At that age, you're just kind of full of hatred, almost playing against these guys. But that was kind of the first time where we were all put together, and you know what I mean. Like I'm still like great friends with Brad Nadeau, and that's all from the ACC. So.
Well, we go. I mean, again, you're playing with these guys at the Challenge Cup with New Brunswick. This Moncton Flyers roster, when I look up your season with the Flyers, that's an absolutely stacked roster of guys that have gone on to have success in the Q. A lot of guys that have had success in the Maritime Hockey League. What are some of your memories from that U18 team?
Yeah, I remember it was short and sweet, but obviously COVID hit that year, but we weren't projected, I guess, to do that well because we had, I think it was probably like 15 first years or something crazy like that. I'm not really sure, but 11 of us ended up getting drafted, and I don't know however many got some games or whatever, but it was we won provincials. That was as much as you could do back in the day, so. Just for us to, kind of do that and take, I think it was Fredericton, Freddie Caps, took them in game 5, maybe, or whatever for the champ. And that was actually against Brad again. So that was a little extra sweet.
We talk about the U18 to the Q draft, and it was, getting ready for this interview today. I fired up the draft from 2021, where Kenzie and I stood for 4.5 hours while you guys, the whole crew was together in Moncton for that night. What what's the biggest piece of advice that you would have given to that kid from on draft night?
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Uh, I know it's, kind of cliche. That's what everyone would probably say, but like, it's like high school. Sometimes you hate doing it. Sometimes you hate those early workouts, all that, but it's like it flies by when you look at it. Um, you don't want to go to class some days or whatever, but those are the days where you got, I don't know, guys messing around in class and like cracking jokes all day, and it just flies by. So, like, yesterday I was 16 years old in my new billet, and got super nervous in Halley. So now I'm fifth year in Charlottetown. You never know where the road's gonna take you, I guess. So it's just you got to enjoy every minute of it. You could break your leg tomorrow too, honestly. So.
It took you to Halifax, the start of that journey. That was a special core of kids with that Moosehead team. Your rookie season, and you're finding your way in the queue. What was the biggest adjustment into this league?
I think probably that I couldn't like just hit guys and take the puck because they'd fall over. Like guys were more sturdy, guys think faster. I think the biggest thing for me, honestly, would have been my stick, like stick on puck, because I never really had to do that beforehand. I just kind of like bumped them, they'd fall over, kind of skating to the puck, like. But I think that was the biggest thing, and just the way you think the game.
Was there
Sorry, go ahead.
go no, you go ahead. Go ahead, Dylan. Sorry.
Oh no, not at all. Just the little things, you know what I mean? Like stop stick handling, create that extra second for yourself, all that good stuff. So
Was there an aha moment where you felt it clicked? Any type of moments from that first season that you recall?
I remember us going to playoffs. That probably would have been the biggest thing then because we were not projected to do so whatsoever. So uh, that was a great feeling. It didn't end up working out, but we had a great year that year, great group. I still remember those guys, and I think about them every day. You know what I mean? They truly were the heart and soul of junior hockey, and I didn't realize it until I was kind of in their position, right? So
Well, and again, and it goes from you've had the tale of two playoffs where it's either a first round exit or you go right to the finals. In that second year with Halifax, a lot of expectations on the group. Your year towards. Was there something different in that locker room and something different for that group to say, all right, we've got something here?
yeah, I think Doucette and Lawrence definitely big add-ons to the group. I think we had our first line had like 400 points together. Like you don't see that too frequently, but yeah, that definitely helped us out. But like we just knew we were too good sometimes to like be putting ourselves in certain situations, and we just kind of be like, yeah, like let's snap out of it. It was just like we had that mindset and kind of that swagger to us. So
The playoff run, and again, Mathis Russo just kind of taken over some games, but a big part of that was the defensive core. How much pride did your unit take in ensuring that there was not a lot of juicy rebounds left for Mathis? You kept things kind of clean for him, and things really built on the back end there.
yeah, like you said, I mean, Rooster's pretty exceptional. Yeah, he's fun to watch, but you just try like I don't know, you just try and get out of his way sometimes almost just let him play because like anything he sees it's not touching the back of the net. I'll tell you that right now. He's phenomenal, but it's just yeah, obviously try and wear a lot of shots and just be hard on the sticks. That's the only thing that would kind of catch us sometimes is like the third rebound would like scoop in because he already made two pad stacks or something. So
It was an exceptional run. You get to the finals. You're against Patrick Waugh and the Quebec Rampart, who are hosting host there. I believe were they hosting the Mem Cup that year, or they were no they
I think Seattle or Kelowna.
yeah it was out west. So but they Quebec was the team that was looking stacked at that time. You go up against that roster. What was the mood like with this team going into that final? Because you guys were riding extremely high. I know, knock it off Sherbrooke, not and in impressive fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. We were riding on high. I couldn't say it any better. I mean, I think we were just like, wow, like after that kind of like we were. I'd say the group was a little like more nervous about Sherbrooke than Quebec almost because we didn't know what to expect. Almost, we kind of got our show ran for like two games. Jacob Melanson walked me like three times in the first period of the first game, put me on the CHL Instagram. So I was like, we were all like, oh geez, like this could be it or whatever. But then things started going our way, started playing systems right, keeping it simple. Ended up winning. So I think just for Quebec, we were like, this is doable. Like you know what I mean? That gave us a little more heart, a little more hope. And the end of the day, it didn't work out. But if I could get it back, I would. But it was a good run, and I think we exceeded expectations
I
that
I
year.
I I could tell you, my producer was in my ear during that little run by Jacob Melanson at the start of that series, and Matt is producer Matt is he's 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 very quick to say, "Oh my God, it's over. Oh my God, it's over." But you guys bounced back so well.
Yeah.
What was some of the keys in that series to get yourselves back on track? You talked about the system, but was there a moment where it was like, "Okay, we're back in this"?
I don't think there was a moment. I think we were all leaders. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were all like, no matter how old we were just such a tight group. Like every day after practice, like I could name 10 guys off the top of my head that we'd hang out every single day, you know. Take Tyler along to the movies or something. We'd you know, just hang out. We'd go eat. We'd try all these different, like, you know, pub food kind of thing every day. So it was like this group was so tight that I think we just kind of didn't want it to end. And we just wanted to keep pushing each other to get better and better. And, you know, there was definitely some highs and lows, just like every other game. But I think we really stayed, you know, cool, calm, and collected during the process. And, you know, it ended up working out that series at least. So.
I wanted to you bring up about how the group was so tight. The chemistry between that crew and the chemistry between the Wildcats that won the Mem Cup, or sorry, that won the President Cup, went to the Memorial Cup. Is is there similarities in the chemistry there when you look back at that?
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, those two teams I went the furthest on are the, you know, closest teams I've ever been on. Like without a doubt.
What is it that you see that makes the difference for teams that are going to do a good run of the playoffs and the teams that are going to do remarkable runs in the playoffs when it comes to chemistry?
When it comes to chemistry on ice, I just think buying in, like knowing who you are. That's a big thing. Like I'm a defensive defenseman. Like you know, I can skate pretty fast sometimes and stuff, but like I know that's not my job. And it's like if it's a 1-1 game, I'm not taking it end to end. So just kind of buying into your role and like just knowing your identity. I think that's the biggest thing that kind of sets us aside. Like I don't know, we had Pekarchik last year,
Mhm.
stud, stud. Like he was out there to dangle and he was out there to dance. But it's like then you had Vidicek, right? He might not have had as many points as he did in Halley over the years, but like he was the best player on that ice surface every time we touched it. He was the best two-way forward. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think I don't think everybody like knew about his defensive game like that. But without a bit of check, like I don't know if you know what I mean. You just gotta everyone buys in and everyone plays how they play. That's what wins you stuff.
You had that Halifax band of brothers that went to Moncton. When you're in Moncton with the Moncton Mooseheads, if you will, was that how close knit was that group? And once you got in that locker room,
Yeah, absolutely. You know, me and Vinny got there a little earlier, and actually, my 16 year, I was roommates with Vinny. So we've kind of, you know, like grown and like we were always in kind of like, I wouldn't say different groups, but we were always just like super close. Like we were super, you know, and we just grew our bond further and further and further as we got older, right? Because then, you know, you guys are the old guys, and then it's just like I've been with Vinny for 4 years. Now he's lighting it up in Quinnipiac, so it's awesome to see. And you know, yeah, that was awesome to you know get him because I was traded first, and I was like, oh, like another like Vidi would be unreal, like heck of a player, heck of a person, even better person, right? Like he's a guy you want to be around. So I was pumped, ecstatic for that, and yeah, obviously Roos, like Roos and Logan, like come on, you're just adding to the trouble. So no, that was awesome. Like as soon as we found out Russo was coming in, especially like huge difference maker. Like you said, he stole us games that second year. And you know, if you want to win, you need a goalie that's going to steal your games. Like that's how that goes. Like, and he did exceptional at that. And you know, Sid same thing. Like he was there when we needed him. Like absolutely, like there to play.
yeah. And again, we'll make sure that those that are not in the know, you mean Logan Crosby, nicknamed Sid. Who gave him
Yeah.
that
Oh
nickname, by the way?
yeah. 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 No, it's such a habit. Yeah.
Where did that nickname come for him, by the way?
Oh, I don't. I think it was just right away. Like everyone just started calling him Sid. Like he just walked in the first day of training camp, 16 year. I think they were all like Sid, like what's up?
um, So it's the 4 years, and I know I got to follow a bit of that run, but to go back to you being traded to Moncton, what was it like to go home and play for the club you grew up with?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's pretty special. I used to head to those games with my godfather and my father like pretty frequently. You know, Timbit tournament, all that good stuff at the old Coliseum Barn. So no, it's pretty special, and just obviously Gardner, Taylor. Like, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like those guys are wicked at what they do, and just to be kind of under them and guided by them for a year is awesome. So I was happy to be there and happy for the opportunity, and hopefully I can repeat it this year.
Do you have a favorite Gardner McDougall saying, story, piece of advice, or situation? Because we have gotten plenty of them over the years.
I don't want to spoil the recipe.
Okay,
He
that's fair.
no no no. I got some. He every day is some hilarious. Like he makes you want to be at the rink. Like we're there pretty long, or we were there pretty long days. You know what I mean? Some days you're kind of like, oh, and then like GMAC always has me cracking up no matter what.
No,
But yeah, I like third period. He'll yell "Money in the bank." That's my
that's
favorite. He just
okay.
goes, "What it be?" And then you go "Money in the bank." I like that one. That's my favorite.
It's incredible the power of motivation, eh, Dylan?
Absolutely. He doesn't get any more powerful than GMAC either, I don't think.
So you come into that room, it's a special unit, and you went from one special unit to the other, but in the middle of that, you find yourself drafted to the Nashville Predators, being with a chance to hear your name called at the NHL level. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's every kid's dream. Uh it was no, it was cool. It was actually kind of unexpected to go to Nashville. If I'm being honest with you, that was like
Mhm.
the I talked to them at the combine, and that was actually like the only team like I didn't like have contact with throughout the year. So that was a little I was a little like, oh, like nice. Like but no, obviously getting drafted to the NHL, you're like I kind of like honestly just blacked out. Like I don't even remember it. I was like so like such a high. Like I was just like whatever. Like I hugged my dad, I hugged my sister and mother. So no, that was it was pretty cool, and it was in Nashville. So I forget his name, but he had the drum out, the mascot. He was banging. So it's pretty cool.
So you got a chance to see Nashville. You got a chance to be on the ice around the Nashville camp. You got a chance to be around with a Boston camp. What are some of the things
Yeah.
you take away from NHL experiences?
You boys have fun. Like Steven Stamkos, Forsberg, Yossi. They have fun. Like it's the guys are millionaires. You know what I mean? Like they're not prancing around with their shoulder blades touching each other. Like peacock, and like they're just the best people, and those are the guys you want to be around. O'Reilly, obviously Larue.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. So all those guys, Mullendijk, Lynn, Wood, Gibson, they're all unreal guys, and we just love it. Like you gotta love it.
You had a chance in the Bruins camp again. You talk about having fun. You got to toss the mitts with a friend of the program around the Maritimes, Camp Squires. Um,
Yeah,
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this fight between the two Q guys at rookie
yeah.
camp. What was the spark? What was the genesis of it? And how'd it go for you?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of like asked him. I was like, dude, like, like, please give me one. Like, I was like, this would look like great for me, being a free agent and whatnot and all that stuff. And he was like, yeah, all right, like, okay, fine. Like he was just like being like so for the boys. Like, he just gave me one, and you know what? Like, it wasn't too bad on either part. I don't think. I mean, I was exhausted. I'm sure he was too. So I think it looked all right. I think we did a good job, and obviously like punching your buddies in the face, that's never fun. But we gave each other the tap after and had a good time, and it's
Well,
all business at the end of the day.
punching your buddies in the face. You also got into a fight with Braden last season with Moncton at Halifax, your former teammate in Moncton.
Yeah, I got in one with Braden, but that was bound to happen.
Oh, okay. So that, I mean, that's just, again, that's just the game with you guys. Let's talk about that Moncton Wildcat playoff run. Okay. What what was the difference maker for that? Because you've just got such incredible talent there as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it was kind of, I don't want to say like stat, but like I don't think anyone was touching us. Like the defense we had, the goalies we had, the forwards we had, the coaches, the GM we had. Like that's a recipe for success if I've ever seen one.
It,
Um, like you said, we had so much skill too, right? It's just like that skill plus the way we were coached to be gritty. Like it's you're not going to lose if like you said earlier. Like I was saying, like guys buy in, play their role and stuff. It's like I said, Karchek or whatever. He was throwing hits and like hammering guys in playoffs. You know what I mean? It's like we have some like sliding in front of pucks, like guys you'd never like really expect. You know what I mean? And that's just how we were kind of bred and like taught there. And when you're winning, you have a lot more fun. So
you win it up in Rimouski, and again, you came so close in Halifax. Did it make it a bit more special for the guys that were close before?
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we wanted it bad that year in Halifax. Um, yeah, Quebec just got the better of us, but I think for Russo and Vidicek especially to win that in their 20 year, you know what I mean? Their OA year. I think that was extra special for them, and you know what? Just for me to be with those boys too, and Sid, like, and like all the other boys. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not just saying
yeah.
that, but like just to be with those guys that we've been through that before, and we've felt that heartbreak and played big roles already. Like that was pretty special, and I'm happy I got to do it. I'm happy I got to do it with them.
I'm going to ask you a question here, and what's a tougher tournament, the Memorial Cup or the Holinka Gretzky tournament?
I'd say the Mem Cup.
Okay. What makes it tougher?
I think it's just because, like, I think we ended up playing 89 games last year.
Hmm.
So it's just like, and like, I don't know, like, I know all the boys were beat up, but like the way I play and stuff too, it's like, I played 3 games here in Charlottetown and I'm in a body bag. Like, I'm just, old dog now, but it's, yeah, no, like, yeah, obviously, like, you're all beat up and stuff, and all those other teams are too, but you're killing each other and stuff. So I think just, and it's a 10-day long
Mhm.
tournament. Like, it's not that long, but like, right at the end of the year too, when once you hit like June and stuff, you're kind of like, whereas opposed to like the Holenka, we were there for I'd say a month. You know what I mean? Like schedule's less intense, like all this. You get like time to make friends with everybody, practice. Like you got time, you know what I mean, to relax. You got preseason games too that you can get used to like the vibe of these other European teams or whatnot. So
What was it like wearing the Maple Leaf?
oh, special, it's sick. Like it's just like you look down at your jersey and you got blue Gatorade all over your national logo. It's a little funny because you're on the outdoor rink. As a kid, you're like, oh, McKinnon wins it for Canada or whatever. Like it'd probably be like McKinnon like big hit for Canada, but now, but it's no, it's definitely super special, and just thought even at World Juniors camp in the summer last year or the year before, I don't even know anymore, but it was no, it's super cool to see all these guys, right? And like all those guys I met from the Holenka under 17s, like it's just like you catch up with all these guys from the OHL and the Western. So no, it's super special, and it's like I said, you got to enjoy it. It's a good time. So
Well, and Dylan, we're talking about how it was you're saying it's a big hit for McKinnon for Canada as opposed to the goals. What's your favorite goal in your Q career if you had to pick one?
my favorite goal, I had one last year. I had the first one of playoffs last year. That was pretty electric. I had I did like the McGregor on one, the McGregor celly with the arms there across the whole ice after I scored against Cape Breton too.
Okay.
So that one was pretty cool. But I think I don't know. I came out of the penalty box in Halifax, got a gross speed from Why Not, full ice. I was skating backwards. I actually fanned on the shot and it went 5-hole, but it looked so sick. And then I just kind of hurled myself into the boards and Catford got me. So I think that was probably my favorite because like the place just erupted because yeah, obviously like I'm not I'm not out there going bunk too often.
No, the breakaways weren't very often for you, Dylan.
No, I know,
They don't happen often for you.
eh? Yeah,
Um,
just giving more of them up.
you brought up a mutual friend of ours, Tyler Long. Tyler has a very specific
Sure.
nickname for you. He calls you the bum. Can you explain why Tyler Long calls you the bum?
I'd love to. I got a penalty in Halifax my third year, I believe, because it wasn't like an ongoing thing for a few years, but I got I got like two more penalties right after that, and I'm like heated, like losing my mind at these calls. And anyway, I somebody yells like MacKinnon, like you suck, like you bum or whatever, like stay out of the box, like you're like selling it. I think it was like a tie game, so I was just like turning around, like looking for who it was, kind of like give them the look or we'll see. But yeah, and then it was Joanne, Tyler's mother. So I was sitting right next to me, so I was just like, oh, like come on, like with all that. And then Tyler just adapted that, just soaked it in and it's been the bum ever since. I have up in the office in Moncton, Sherry, she calls me the bum. First time I met her, I was like, oh my, this is already spreading like wildfire.
That's good. Yeah, again, and I know everyone's got a tremendous relationship with Tyler. How special is it for you, the connection between with Tyler and yourself?
Yeah, no, it's something I cherish. You know what I mean? It's I was there with him 3 years, and just honestly, that was one of the hardest things about leaving that place was saying bye to T Long. So it was just yeah, it's hard. I mean, I still get calls like every day. So I'm thankful for that, honestly, just keeping up with him and seeing what's up. And he was the first person I actually called after we won the cup, me and Vidicek. So no, it's all love, it's all special, and you know what I mean? Like you having a bad day and then Tyler's there at the rink just kind of messing with you. Me and Jake Todd were always in there. Like the three of us, it was just a whole problem every day for Benji. So we'd
Just
be Tyler cook a cookie for 13 minutes and almost burnt the place down one day. So it was, but we were like supervising and we just didn't put two and two together that it was 13 minutes up there instead of 13 seconds. So yeah, you never really know.
yeah. Well, the biggest I think the biggest feat that you have in your hockey career is that you were able to get Tyler Long to wear a Moncton Wildcats jersey instead of a Halifax Moosehead. That in itself that needs to go on your elite prospects.
Right? That's what I think.
That needs to go up there too.
It took
Um,
some convincing.
and he's got your socks as well. He's got
Yeah,
the he's got the Dylan MacKinnon socks as well.
yeah.
Uh,
My mom made him quite a few cookies for that one.
Let me ask you, who's been your favorite coach in your hockey career, if you were to pick one?
I got like a
It,
three-way tie.
okay.
Like I can't even pick besides Sylvain Favreau.
Mhm.
Obviously, I wouldn't be the player I am today without him. Gardner goes without saying. And Jim. Like I've been with Jim for a week now, and I can tell. Like I love the guy. Like I love the way he, goes about things, approaches us, and I really love it. And obviously these guys are all vets, right? Like they've been around, so it's just like when they talk, you listen,
Mhm.
and you know what? It's just gonna make you better.
So what about in your minor hockey career?
Minor hockey career,
Mhm.
I'd say Derek Cormier
Okay.
from Bantam, first year and second year. It's actually Cooper Cormier's father,
Okay.
but I think he played 18 years pro. He still coaches me in the summer. He's not getting away from me anytime soon. I don't think so.
What is it that pushes him over the edge as your favorite coach in minor hockey?
Just like looking back at it, we were only what are you and Bam 14 and 15. So it's just like we were that young, and like he'd be like not in your face, but like he knows what he's talking about again. So like if you take it in, you listen to what the guy's saying. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna get you places, and it did ultimately. Like he works you, pushes you, and like the drills he does in practice, like unreal.
Now again, back to this Charlottetown Islander team, and you're first in the league at the or first in the conference. Plainville's looking like they're going to be a bit of a problem for everyone, but that's another story for another time. What needs to keep happening for this Charlottetown team?
Cliche again, but just getting better every day.
Okay.
You know, you can't play October hockey in March. It just can't happen. You know, we got to clean up on some things. Obviously, it's still fresh into the year. You know, their schedule's been pretty hectic. So, like, you know, just, you know, plain simple, I think will be the biggest help for us. Like, we're not a skilled team. Like, we're a heavy team. Like, and no one wants to play a heavy team. I've played these guys during a rebuild for 3 years, and I still hated playing them. It's you got to want it, and I think this group really does want it. And you know, they've like you said, I think they've been hungry in playoffs and just kind of got some bad seeds and stuff. So I think I'm really a part of this like hungry group here, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Outside of Tyler and Max, who are some of the other guys that you were excited to play on the same team with and get a chance to have chemistry on the ice?
Yeah, definitely Ross Campbell.
Mhm.
I mean, he's no fun to play. Nathan Leake, same thing. All like honestly, all the boys. Like I just hated playing all of them. I hated listening to them all on the ice. Will Shields, hat trick last night, decent. Donald Hickey, unreal. Sit in front of that guy,
Mhm.
help him out a bit. And it's been all fun. Like literally every single guy on that team, I hated playing. So it's just fun to be a part of that now.
Yeah, now you get to throw the chirps out from the Islanders
Oh, I
benches
know. It's
that
just
that
like yeah,
I've heard in between the benches a couple times. So I know you guys craft some good ones up in Charlottetown. So
yeah,
I'll be looking forward to hearing them. Dylan,
absolutely.
thanks for hopping in here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
thanks for
great,
having me. Anytime.
and look forward to seeing you back on the ice. And we'll see you at the Eastlink Center.
Unreal. Looking forward to it.
All right, time for us to talk about the Eastlink TiVo stream app. As you can see right now, watching a little bit of Overdrive and the fellas. Um, we are going to have Friday night hockey from Scotiabank Center, and I'm going to have the Mooseheads and the Newfoundland Regiment this Friday night. At the same time, a baseball team from Milwaukee will be playing a very big game. So how am I going to keep on track of both? Well, I'll be checking in on the intermissions to see what's going on in the Brewers game. And I'll be using the TiVo Stream app to do that. Okay. And that's the best way for me to keep on top of everything on the go. TiVo Stream, you make sure that you have that as part of your package with us on Eastlink, and you're able to take your TV on the go. You can watch all our community sports from Eastlink Community TV on the go, or you can watch the pros as well, and you can keep track of a certain baseball team that's still in the Final Four. And I don't mean the one in Toronto. But yeah, check it out. Again, if you're with us on Eastlink, make sure you're getting the most out of your Eastlink subscription. Thanks again to Dylan MacKinnon for joining us here on the Around the Maritime podcast. Really happy to talk to Dylan about his connection with Tyler Long. And I know so many of us have got a great connection with Tyler. He's known throughout the league. He's the assistant equipment manager for the Halifax Mooseheads. I have him on before our games with a quick Tyler talks. I know Gareth McDonald on the radio. Also, we'll give Tyler his love with an interview in the pregame. Um, Tyler represents some of the best things that can happen out of hockey, because for Tyler, those are his boys. That's his team, and he's the loudest in the rink. Always, sometimes to the chagrin of anyone sitting in front of him. But Joanne always ensures to let them know, hey, Tyler's going to get loud, and he always does, and that's the important part about going to the games. Get loud and cheer for your crew. But yeah, Tyler always he was very quick to Tyler and Joanne were very quick to tell me, and when you're up in Rimouski, to pass along those congratulations to the bum. And now we know the origin story of the bum nickname as well for Dylan MacKinnon from lovingly from our good friend Tyler Long. Speaking of good friends, Dave Kearney joined us again on the podcast. Thanks again to Dave for hopping aboard, and we are looking forward to even more games here around the Maritimes and around the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League. Thanks for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe on this channel and wherever you get your podcasts. Give a review, give a comment. I think I got all the influencer terms out there. I think I'm still working on that. Again, TV brain can't comprehend this other stuff. We'll see you in 2 weeks.